Hi there, my name's Nicholas. I'm a professional math tutor, and today I'd like to talk to you about 5 ways you can get better at math in high school. All right, number 1, make sure you know your prerequisites. If you're in Algebra 2, make sure you know Algebra 1. If you're in pre-calc, make sure you know Algebra 2, things like that. So a lot of times when a student is struggling in a math class, it's not that they don't understand the current material, it's actually that they don't understand material from 1, 2, 3 years back. And that obviously has huge impacts on their understanding what's going on in math class. If you know where those gaps in your knowledge are, like maybe you know you're really bad at fractions or logarithms or whatever it might be, get extra practice with that. There's tons of resources online where you can go to get a little extra help in those areas. Or you might find it helpful to hire someone like me, where we go through not only the current material, but if I start to identify, hey, this student's really struggling with rational expressions or whatever it might be, we go over that. We go back and make sure that those gaps are filled. Because if you don't have a strong foundation, you're not going to be able to really build on it. Number 2, make sure you're asking questions and being curious. So when you don't understand something in class, raise your hand. I know that maybe you're shy, maybe you don't like the way your math teacher explains things, but if you are confused, make sure you're asking at least someone your questions. And then the whole be curious thing, guess what? I know that a lot of you guys find math really boring. I get it. But if you're curious, it helps make math a little bit more interesting. And the more engaged you are in your class and your coursework, then the easier it is to do well because you're actually interested in what you're doing, which is huge. So be curious. Why can't we divide by 0? Why do we need a common denominator when we're adding and subtracting fractions, but not when we're multiplying or dividing? Be curious. Ask questions. It'll go a long way. Number 3, you need to practice. So a lot of times in other classes, you might just read over your notes or things like that to study. But in math, when we're studying, really we need to just do practice problems for the most part in most classes. So where do you get those practice problems? Well, some teachers assign quite a bit of homework, but some don't. And either way, if you're not doing so hot in your math class, you probably need to be doing more practice than you're currently doing. Whatever level you're at, you might want to kick it up a notch. So if your teacher isn't giving you the practice, one, you could ask. You could ask your teacher for more practice. They'll probably think highly of you for that. If that isn't an option, there's a lot of resources online. There's tons of places where you can get free worksheets. There's YouTube videos that explain how to do things. Take ownership of your own education and seek out opportunities for practice. The more of it you do, the better you'll get. And it's an unfortunate reality of life that when we're not so great at something, we have to do more of it to get better. Now, number 4, stay organized and accountable. This is really important. So I think adults a lot of times just assume that organizational skills and study skills are just, you don't need to teach them. You're just born with these things. That's not true. We're not born knowing if we're a paper planner person or a digital calendar person or a to-do list person or a bullet journal person, whatever it is. We don't know what works for us until we try these things. So I highly recommend that you try out if this is a problem for you, if you're turning things in late, if you keep forgetting that there's a test on Thursday or whatever, make sure that you have a way to be organized. Most high schoolers are busy, crazy busy. They've got extracurriculars and sports and maybe they have a job and they've got friends and they've got family and let's not forget a bunch of classes. So it's really hard to stay on top of all that. Make sure you've got an organizational system in place to help you keep track of everything. And that's one thing I also do in my tutoring sessions when I'm working one-on-one with someone is make sure that that's set up. Make sure that they've got a good way to stay organized. And if they don't, we work on finding a way that works for them. Now, number 5, this is the big one. Ask for help. You know, ask your teacher to meet with you during their free period or after school. Maybe you help. Maybe you ask a peer for help. Maybe you've got a friend that's doing well in the class. Also, maybe you'd want to reach out to someone like me, a professional math tutor who has, how long have I been teaching? A really long time. But whatever you need to do, make sure you're asking for help. If you need help, ask for it. And if you think working one-on-one with me, having those one-on-one coaching calls would be helpful, please head over to my website. I've got a form on there that your parents can fill out. It's really short. And we can set up a free phone consultation and try to figure out what would be a good plan to get you where you want to go. You know, where do you want to go and how do we get you there? That's what I do as a math tutor. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to help. Feel free to include in the comments below, what did I miss? Are there other things that you feel would help you or that you know do help you become better at math? And if you have any questions, you can leave those in the comments below as well. Please do like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And with that, I will see you later. Bye.